You're going to have to sit with me, because I can't sit back. It's going to look weird if we're sitting. Sit forward.
This is what it's like. We are now in. This is the torment. So welcome to another vlog. We are in now.
Oh, we're in now.
We're in now. So people
you're going
will
to sit
know.
back, and I'm going to sit forward because
here's the problem. Welcome to another vlog.
Welcome.
You are now in the new Cheers HQ. I've got a bit of a cough, and Tracy's bossing me about. But in all fairness, this is a love seat.
It's a love seat we never sat in, so it's not very well loved.
Yeah, but the problem is,
it kind of goes back.
It's too much.
And I've only got little legs, so if my knees are here, there's about 6 inches between me and the back of the sofa. So
and I've got ginormous legs. So what do you think?
Sorry, this is not very good content, but you know, just setting the scene here.
I might.
Oh, you're gonna do? Okay.
I'm gonna reinvent myself. Shout out to Crocs.
Anyway, we are in the new house.
We're in the new house.
We thought we'd give you a bit of a life update because it's been a bit mental and we've not put stuff up for a few weeks, and we're sorry about that. We've not even had a chance to tell you that we weren't putting stuff up and why, and you probably get it. You probably get that we're a bit busy. And thank you to the few people that reached out and sort of...
Thank you to the one person.
That reached out and was
just
thinking
said, "You're right, Kifo." I'm like, yeah, I'm alright. It wasn't one person, but there was quite a bunch of you, but we are all good.
We're good, we're just busy, and thanks for thinking of us, but it's a bit mad. So mad that we're in our new HQ, but behind us we've still got like the odd hooks that the last people left behind. We've not put anything on them yet.
No.
It's mad. We're sleeping here.
Sometimes.
We're
Slept in different homes last night. It was like a trial separation.
We're not really living here yet, but the plan is that Luke's staying at the business to be our man on site overnight, but he's had to go away to do some instructing in Wales, so there was nobody on site last night or tonight, so we always knew we'd have to go and cover for that kind of thing. But it was just easier for Keith to just do it, because otherwise I have to faff with all my toiletries and things. So yeah,
I have no toiletries.
I've got
a toothbrush. As you can see.
Hey, listen, it takes a lot to, you know, it's like Dolly Parton, it takes a lot of time to look this trashy.
I'll tell you what, you look properly.
Thank you.
Welcome to my love seat.
I think the lighting's helping. We've tested the lighting, so that makes me look, you know.
Yeah, we've got a guy that goes around one of those things. Thanks, mate.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're nearly there.
We will get to the point in a minute. You can tell we're a bit delirious. It's kind of like hysteria has set in, but we're getting there. So
we're not complaining though, because we're flat out busy, and it's great, which means that we are able to go on another Disney holiday. We have got a trip booked.
Yeah.
So
well, we kind of sort of dangled a carrot, I think, a few vlogs ago, that we said we'd got something booked, but we didn't tell you because we thought we'd do a trip announcement a few weeks ago or a month ago. So sorry to leave you hanging, it wasn't intentional.
We got another trip booked. We are going, and we're going back to Disney for the first time in how long?
Nearly 3 years. 2019, October 2019 we were last in Disney.
So off of the back of 2 incredible Universal trips, which have just totally, you know...
well needed, I think.
Well needed, but big Universal fans. However, you know, our hearts really belong to Disney, and so we are heading back for 16 nights.
Yes, and we've used some of our DVC points.
Yeah.
And we've got 8 nights in a 1-bedroom villa in our home. Well, it's not our home resort, but it's our heart. It's the resort that has our hearts, which is Old Key West. We love the vibe there. We love, you've heard us bang on about it before, but basically as well, the accommodation works really well for us because of the sofa bed, the double sofa bed and a single chair bed. So it works really well for 4 of us. We've all got a bit more space. Game changer. Sam isn't coming with us, and he was going to be coming with us.
Yes, Sam has a new job, which is proving difficult to get time off.
And he was stressing about it, and we were just like, hey,
don't stress about it. We'll be going back.
Yeah.
We'll be going back again. And also, Daisy and Sam have just come back off of a cruise.
Yeah.
So it's not like that.
Yeah, it's not
they're not being hard done by.
Yeah. But Daisy will be coming, and Sam will be joining us on FaceTime probably for quite a lot of the time, I would imagine. And then next year we'll try and, when he's got a bit more, you know, holiday and a bit more settled in his new job, we can plan it where everyone's available. But you know, it's always going to be one of those things where, you know, we had to book it so far in advance and things were changing. But yeah, so we've got 8 nights on our DVC points at Old Key West.
Yeah.
And then we managed to get a top up, not on the DVC, but on
the wonderful
attraction tickets.
Tickets.com.
We got a really good deal.
Is it attractiontickets.com now or attraction tickets? Or
You know
who I mean. We've used them time and time again, and they're fantastic. It's like phoning up and booking a holiday with a mate, because it's almost as if they're as excited about your trip as you are.
They're brilliant.
So they're brilliant, and we were umming and ahhing. Old Key West is proving really, really difficult to get like off the rack. So originally we had booked at Port Orleans.
Did we actually book that?
Actually booked that.
Oh, right. So we were going to have the 8 nights at Old Key West, and then the last sort of 7 nights at Port Orleans.
Yeah. So we booked that, and we were super happy with that. It's a resort that we've always wanted to stay on, and it came up. The accommodation wasn't spot on for us, and also because when Sam was coming, we would have needed 2 rooms. So it was working out kind of pricey. And then, as I'm checking all the time, a deal came up with attraction tickets for Old Key West, which is kind of unusual.
Yeah, you have to really look out for them. They pop up, but then they don't stay around for very long.
Yeah, so I called them and said, can I? And she, even before I'd finished, like, can I? She said, yep, no problem. So we switcherooed, and we have got, we've got the rest of the trip on, still on Old Key West. So I don't know whether or not they're going to make us move.
I don't know, because the DVC deal was a room near the hospitality house.
Yeah.
But the other one doesn't specify. So before we get there, a couple of weeks before, we'll probably phone them and just say, look, is there any chance we can stay in the same villa rather than have to move to a different location? It's not a big deal if we have to move.
No,
it's quite nice to have a different ambiance, but you know.
Yeah, but it would be a bit of a faff.
It'll save a morning of packing and faffing and sorting things out. So we'll see what happens. But we're not too bothered if we have to move. It would be better if we can't, but you know, it is what it is.
And the great thing about the DVC accommodation at Old Key West, got washer, dryer, all the facilities. So yeah, we're super excited to go back. Yeah, and it is, I think on one of our last trips we stopped off, and we weren't staying at Old Key West, we stopped off
just to get transportation from a park to Disney Springs. It was just a way of getting there. So
and it really was a bit of a wrench leaving it, because if you've never...
We're here, but we've got to go now.
We've been so lucky to stay at so many wonderful places, but for us there is just nothing comes close for us to Old Key West. And if you've never been,
we've got a few places to try yet that we haven't tried, so we might find something that we like as much, but we just love it there, and it's been too long, and that's the place that's been calling to us. And it's going to be so nice doing like a whole 6, well, it's actually probably going to be 15 nights, because we haven't got any accommodation booked for the first night. So we're thinking about what to do with that. We might I think we're going to go, I think, for the first night. First night, it doesn't really matter too much, because you are tired and travel weary, and you're not going to do an awful lot. So it doesn't have to be anywhere too glamorous, but location-wise, it might be nice to be somewhere that's got some stuff around it to do, or something interesting to do.
We're thinking Pop Century.
We're thinking Pop Century.
Because we've got access to the Skyliner, kinda, so we can whiz into the parks. Pop Century was the first Disney resort we stayed on.
Very first experience of staying on resort was at Pop Century, and that's it. We never looked back. It was like, oh, this is the way to do it. I have to say, I was a bit, when I first saw Pop Century, it was a bit garish for me. It was like the huge Rubik's Cube and everything. I thought, oh my god, it's so cheesy. But actually, it's lovely, and it is the epitome of the sort of the over-the-top Disney theming, which is fantastic.
For me, it's
and it ticks all the boxes. Yeah, it ticks all the boxes. The accommodation's good. They've had refurb since we were there.
It's got great pools. Luke's still very famous for opening the Hippy Dippy pool one morning. So yeah, that's super exciting. Flight-wise, it's I'm getting a bit of anxiety about the flight. So first of all, we're flying with BA, not flying with BA for a long time. BA are not like covering themselves in glory at the moment. No. But we got an amazing deal. So we got, I think we paid just under, well, I think we paid about £550 for the flights each. Return, which, you know, was mega. But with all these little add-ons, you have to, because we want to sit together, and I don't want all that faff of like sitting next to like a straight, actually I wouldn't mind. But we wanted to be together, so you have to pay, I can't remember how much it was, but it was probably more than it should have been. And I wonder how many people don't book that allocation and then still get to sit with their party. But anyway, that's all done. So with all those odds and sods, it was about 620 £120, I think, per person return from Gatwick to...
And the reason why it was probably a good deal, Tampa.
Yeah.
So it's really difficult to get direct flights into MCO, Orlando International. For some reason at the moment, maybe it's just that everything's just getting back to more normal and they've not got the routes and all the airports set up yet, I don't know. But it's been very hard to get direct flights. And connecting flights, I know a lot of people do them, and we've spoken to people that love it and have worked with them, but we're again a bit nervous about the connecting flights at the moment. But we're not ruling it out.
I would have been up for it this trip. Now that they're not kids anymore.
Yeah.
I think if you were riding around with like under 10s,
that might be quite stressful. We could all cope with it now if we needed to.
Yeah.
But we'd have preferred a direct flight just because it just adds time onto the journey, I suppose, more than anything. Even though transferring from Tampa to Orlando will add a little bit more time onto the journey.
But there was some weirdness going on, because there was like some deals for like flying out of Heathrow, and then when you come back, you're coming into Gatwick. So that was odd. So yeah, we've flown into Sanford before, which was fine, and I think TUI or one of the other airlines are flying into Melbourne as well. So I think MCO is doesn't have to be the main destination to fly into. So
the world's changed a lot in the last couple of years, and maybe the new way of doing things will mean that there's more options rather than the direct flights. So we're happy to explore some of that, but for this one we decided the Tampa option was the best one for us. And
because I'm squeaky with the funds, it was just like, wow, it was half of what anything else I could find. And I've looked at doing transfers when we get there. You know what? I think I'm just going to Uber it. I think we'll get there. When we were in Orlando earlier this year, I was checking out the size of Uber XLs and would it get 4 or 5 cases in. And I think it'll be right. We've got 2 chances.
You'll see.
Yeah, you'll see. A couple of things that we're going to be doing differently on this trip. It's just going to be Disney, except for one night. Because also we're going out on the 27th of October.
Yes.
Yeah, for 16 nights. So it's going to be super Halloweeny.
Yes.
So Luke and I are going to be heading over to Universal to do Halloween Horror Nights, because we love that. And probably on the night that we do that, if we can coordinate it, because Tracey and Daisy aren't as keen as Luke and I, you might go.
I enjoyed it, but I won't do all of the houses, so it's kind of like you two will get more out of it.
Oh, I loved it.
Daisy was a bit freaked out by it. I don't think she fancies it again. Not for a while anyway.
She found it quite draining.
Yeah, so she really wants to do the new Cirque du Soleil. So I think she and I might go and have a nice cultured evening. Yeah,
well, Luke and I will be being chased by zombies around Universal.
Yeah.
And
the plan is we will try and vlog both experiences. Obviously, I don't know how much we can film inside the Cirque du Soleil, but we will vlog our experience of going there and what we're doing around it, if we can. And the boys will do the Halloween Horror Night one. So.
Yeah. We're going to have to look at things slightly differently, because we're living in slightly different times. We're going to have to budget-wise. And watching some of our other favourite vloggers that have been out there recently. So if you're not watching Mr. David and Mr. Ian's new series, it's fantastic. And Yaz and Scott are out there at the moment. They're the Stranger Couple. They're fantastic as well.
They are at the moment?
Not at the moment, but they've got a series out at the moment.
Yeah, their series is out of their trip that they did in May. Yeah.
Especially watching David and Ian's trips. It's got really expensive, and we know food-wise, and we noticed this on our last trip. It is getting expensive food-wise, and eating out is a big part of things for us.
There's no dining plan available at the moment. We would consider buying it, because I think it is quite good value.
Yeah.
Even if you're foodies like us, it's quite good value, because you're probably spending the equivalent per day anyway, and then it's all done and dusted. So that was my phone, your phone?
Yeah. So
it was buzzing. Sorry. So it's more pricey than we were expecting it to be, and we also realised that we overeat quite a lot when we're on the dining plan, and sometimes it's nice to have the option of just having something snacky. So I think we're going to try and just be a little bit more relaxed about where we're eating and what we're eating, not have too much booked. We're all going to choose a couple of nice restaurants where we know we want to definitely eat.
Yeah.
And the rest of the time we might just snack it or whatever.
And also because of the layout of the accommodation we've got a full kitchen, we've got a big fridge, so I think...
Which we've never really used before.
We haven't, no. And I think what we'll do...
we did oven pizzas at Darney. That was...
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe more of that if we're just chilling.
But I think we'll do a big Target shop or a, what's the other one? Publix. And we'll do a big shop at the beginning of the week and then see how we get on with that.
We've always kind of done, not done the big shop, but we've always sort of had cereals and stuff in the room, even when we've stayed on Disney, but we bought it from the Disney shops. But obviously that is probably the more expensive way to do it. But if we did a big supermarket shop and just stocked up a little bit more, I think we could probably make some savings there, which would then mean we can, if we did want to enjoy something more on the parks and pay those prices, then we kind of balance it out a little bit. Yeah, we definitely need to work smarter, and going out for dinner as a four and spending hundreds of dollars every night. Also, now that Luke's an adult and over 21 and can enjoy a drink when he's on holiday in America, you know, it just gets more and more pricey. Yeah. So we are super excited. There's lots of new rides that we want to do. Guardians ride, we've avoided all spoilers on that, but super excited for that. It's a bit squirrely though, so you might need to do that. I'm doing it. I'm super keen to do rides. Take some travel sickness tablets or something before you do it. I'm not taking them. No, they squint me out. I'm super excited for Rise of the Resistance, Ratatouille, and Mickey Minnie's Wild Ride. No, Runaway Railway. That one. So yeah, we are super excited for all that, and 16 nights. Disney feels. I know it's going to be more expensive. We know some things like, you know, the Genie Plus is different, which we still need to get our heads around a little bit. Daisy's actually taken the Adam Hatton guide. Before we started watching this, we've got the new Adam Hatton guide because it's got all the Genie Plus stuff in it, and we obviously big fans. Before we started filming, Daisy just came in, grabbed that, she goes, "I need." She's going to do the research for us. I think I get most of it, but it is quite confusing compared to what we were used to doing, and we just want to make sure we've got our heads around it. Even seeing people doing it on the vlogs, it's still not entirely clear, and you know, they're still sort of struggling a little bit with it as well. But it's all part of the new learning process. Things change, things move on. Yeah. And we'll see what happens with that. So fortunately for me, Tracy gets all over this stuff, as does Daisy, because I used to. I don't think I can do this one. I think I'm going to have to hand the baton over to Daisy. I think she's going to be the one to do this. Yeah. Why would you change something that works so well? Anyway, we're not going to bog down on this because I am kind of aware that there's a fair bit of negativity coming out of, you know, people's experience with Disney at the moment. But I'm not getting on board with that because 16 nights away, I feel like we're working our socks off at the moment, so I'm super keen to just chill out. It's going to be different, some things aren't going to be the same, but I think there's a lot out there that we know we're going to love still, and we're just going to embrace all that. Yeah. So. And we can finally get excited about this trip because we don't have to test. We don't have to do that whole thing where you're like testing. Are you going to go? Aren't you going to go? Because we're going. Sitting back now. I'm not sitting back now. Yeah. So that's all taken away now, which is good. Yeah. I can't see that coming back. Yeah. And on another note, we really missed doing this. So back to the weekly vlogs. The camera's getting dusted off. Also, like when we moved, we couldn't find it. In the move, the camera was in one box, memory card's in another box. Still can't find the charger. I charge this. Not interesting. But yes, we are back, and yeah, we are just. It's chaos. Our lives are still chaos. It's even more chaos now. We're in two different places half the time. But you know, we'll take you with us. Yeah, we're just going to keep swimming. So thanks very much for coming along with us. Oh, big shout out to Martin and Angelina who we met this week. Oh yeah. Some lovely viewers. Yeah, it was really lovely meeting you guys. Yeah, it was really lovely meeting you guys. So stay safe, be kind, look after one another. Cheers.